You sound like a fool.
I'm trying to sound what it is.
You sound like a fool.
That's your opinion.
No.
Number 10. You're a hustler. When a property was taken over by a new tenant, plaintiff Alana Rader didn't go back to collect her belongings for several months after she left. Now she's in court suing the new tenant for throwing her abandoned items away.
And he says that he got rid of all the stuff because he was paying rent on this property and didn't want your stuff in a place where he was paying rent, right?
Correct.
Apparently, as she tells Judge Judy, she had been told that she could keep it there through the first day of his lease. Well, that's not how leases work.
No, he was moving in on November 1st.
Yes.
So you had to get your things out of there by October 31st.
That isn't what I was told.
Well, I don't care what you were told.
The judge doesn't seem sympathetic at all. Whether or not Rader sees it that way, the judge doesn't believe a woman leaves her items for that long without paying if she's not playing some kind of angle.
Judge Judy, I want to say one thing. This man is a liar and a thief.
You're a hustler.
And I'm a what?
Number 9. Taking offense. It's a terrible day in the neighborhood. Just ask plaintiff Bob Ketcherside, who seems to be a one-man HOA unto himself. When his neighbor painted his side of their shared fence, Ketcherside was outraged by the color he chose. It was simply not to his liking.
It's completely visible to the rest of the neighborhood, anybody on the street, anybody on the sidewalk.
Who cares? That has nothing to do with you. They may like this color.
The hilarious thing is that Ketcherside can't even see the color from his house. The neighborly feud turned hostile to the point that they ended up before Judge Judy.
This is your house.
Yes, ma'am.
On the other side of this is his house.
A complete property over.
I want you to answer my question.
All this over the color of a fence he can't see unless he goes out of his way to look at it? This case is proof, if any were needed, that you don't need to be a woman to be a Karen.
Well, first he repeats what I am again, and I said, you'd better stop saying that. You're not insulting me, you're insulting my mother.
Oh,
and I'm not going to put up with that.
Number 8. The Dog Whisperer. Katie Swoboda is really upset that Lauren Coyle's dog made a mess in her home.
18-year-old Katie Swoboda is suing 21-year-old Lauren Coyle for damage to her home caused by Lauren's dog.
Of course, Swoboda was dog sitting at the time, so while the dog may belong to Coyle, she wasn't responsible for it at the time. Apparently, it was also Coyle's responsibility to see into the future and tell her that the dog would destroy her home. Yeah, that one's not gonna fly with Judge Judy.
She did not tell me that the dog would do this damage, and
how does she know that the dog? You think the dog told her that it was going to damage your apartment?
This case is over before it begins, and Swoboda actually seems stunned at the idea that her complaint is in fact ridiculous. The judge doesn't sugarcoat it either.
She assured me that everything was going to be okay.
Goodbye!
Number 7. I said no refunds. In this case, the Karen is the manager of a motorcycle rental company. Kim Knoller seems to run her business with an iron fist.
He called you within 24 hours to tell you that his plan has changed. And you told him, according to your papers, that you had a no-refund policy, that you would send him vouchers for another time.
Defendant Thomas Doherty booked a motorcycle from her and then canceled that reservation less than a day later. But that doesn't sit well with Kim Knoller. She insists she doesn't give refunds.
Ultimately, it went back into my account when he dropped the dispute at the end.
So what are you doing here? Go ahead.
Well, I'm suing for the NSF charges that I incurred for the money going in and out.
In fact, she wants him to recompense for her taxes and her own inconvenience. Rather than keep a longtime customer, Knoller declares war over a $390 rental that was canceled over 2 months in advance. Knoller also doesn't know when to shut up, a major sin in Judge Judy's courtroom.
My policy is no refunds.
Miss Knoller. Miss Knoller.
In my policy.
I'm talking, you're not.
I understand.
She loses the case, and we can only assume Doherty's future business. Number 6. But there was no zipline, Your Honor. Claudia Arola just wanted to zipline with her family. She and her children rented a cabin near a ziplining business, only to find out the business was closed.
They had closed their doors.
Well, they don't own the zip lines, right?
But they
pay attention. They don't own the zip lines.
Right. Arola had her bank refund her for the rental despite staying in the place for 2 days. But Arola's defense is that the cabin owners were guilty of false advertising.
At the time that they rented you the cabin, based on this, if I assume that this is advertising, this was perfectly accurate.
Though the plaintiffs don't run the zipline business, Arola believes that her vacation was ruined by the business being closed, and so she shouldn't have to even pay for the rental. After a brief visit to Fantasyland, Judge Judy has to give her a lecture on reality.
You rented the cabin, you rented it for 4 days, you have a responsibility to pay for it, and you have your responsibility, because there's no false advertising here.
Number 5, you sound like a fool. Carla Sanchez Lopez can't help herself.
So I went to pick him up, and he turned around and he bit me 3 times on the left hand. I have photos of the injuries.
Her friend's dog has been accused of a heinous and vicious biting, and she must right this injustice, even if it means interrupting the judge, apparently. Unfortunately, her incessant commentary and unwillingness to hear what Judge Judy is saying doesn't get her very far.
Did you ever see this lady? Did you ever see her?
You saw me at the door, ma'am. Don't lie.
I don't want to hear you unless I ask you a question. Do you understand that?
Yes, Your Honor.
After her whole argument, such as it is destroyed by logic, she just starts talking back like a scolded child. You know things aren't going your way if you're actually saying the words, "That's your opinion," to a judge.
You sound like a fool.
I'm trying to sound what it is.
You sound like a fool.
That's your opinion.
No. My opinion's the only one that counts.
The whole thing is hilarious and kind of painful to watch. Number 4, freedom of speech. This case has 2 Karens for the price of 1. Luckily for the entire neighborhood, they live right next door to each other.
I have to see what led up to this, since it does appear that for a substantial period of time, you peacefully coexisted, which is what you're supposed to do if you possibly can with neighbors.
Stephen Hesley was offended by defendant Sheila Blazowski letting her twigs fall onto his property. A spat erupted between the two, police reports were filed, and Blazowski decided to invoke her First Amendment rights with a bullhorn and some foul language.
And she says, and I quote, "You want me to pick this up, you blankety blank blank blank," unquote. And things went quickly south after that.
Unfortunately, there's a fine line between protesting and disorderly conduct, and the judge suggests she find it. It started out with some twigs. How did it end up like this?
If I lived across the street from you, that's what I would tell my children. That's what I would tell my children. They say, "Who is that lady?" I say, "It's a crazy old lady who lives across the street. Don't go near her."
Number 3, the most annoying person. This defendant has a great defense. However, you wouldn't know it from how many times she insists on speaking when it's not her turn.
From here, you're going to get 5 nights if I find that she misrepresented the ad.
He already has received. Oh, okay.
I'm not ready for you.
Sorry.
Being sued for false advertising over a cottage rental, defendant Ellen Schneiderman demands to be heard. Although she insists she's not sure when she should talk, this doesn't exactly stop her.
Am I allowed to talk now? Oh.
No, when I ask you a question, you'll talk.
Okay.
Unless the figure he gave me is wrong.
Well, that includes a refundable security deposit.
Just a second.
Everything the plaintiff says, she immediately counters, even after she's been warned repeatedly. She's lucky the judge doesn't throw her case out just because she's annoyed with her. In fact, Judge Judy tells her that right to her face.
Listen to me.
Oh, I'm sorry.
If what you do is interrupt, I'm just going to give him what he wants and throw you out. Do you understand?
Yes, I was confused when I can talk. Okay.
Chill.
Even Officer Bird tells her to shut up at one point. Number 2. Hey, your daughter hit my car. In this case, school pickup almost ended in tragedy. Plaintiff Robin Brooke was picking up her sons when the defendant's daughter was crossing the street. Brooke hit the girl with her car, causing injury, but the worst was yet to come.
And now what your lawsuit is you want her mother to pay for the mirror on your car.
Yes, Your Honor.
Brooke's side mirror was broken in the accident, and she wants recompense. Clearly, she's in need of a little perspective, and the judge does her best to provide it.
She's not fixing your mirror.
No.
Get it through your head. She's not fixing your mirror. You should go like this. What a tragedy this could have been.
Unfortunately, she seems to reject the idea that she's not the victim in this scenario. Yes, she agrees that so much worse could have happened here, but she still wants to be paid for her broken mirror.
Well, it would be different if it was your son's clavicle.
She ran into my vehicle.
Your case is dismissed. We're done.
Number 1. $5,000 haircut. Plaintiff Carlos Campos has no chance. From the moment he walks in, the judge calls his lawsuit over a $10 haircut a complete waste of time.
I'm a lawyer.
Where?
San Antonio, Texas. Hope you don't use that against me.
No, I'm going to hold your lawsuit against you because it's stupid.
He takes his complaint about his unsatisfactory haircut way too far, suing for the small claims maximum of $5,000. Some people might just go for the refund, but apparently this is a matter of principle for the plaintiff.
This is a television courtroom, so we actually have fun doing sometimes ridiculous cases, which I'm sure is the reason you came here.
Well, no, in America, we entitle different opinions.
Listen to me.
Judge Judy can't identify any principles here. She pokes a little fun at Campos's hubris before sending him away with $10. And frankly, he should be thankful he got that much.
I'm not trying to be cute.
Great.
You're
Good.
trying to be cute.
Good.
You are cute.
Mr. Campos, you are absolutely correct. That's why I have the job, and you get $10, and that's the judgment of the court.
How would you have ruled on these courtroom Karens? Let us know in the comments.
And you want me to help you?
I'd appreciate it.
That's not happening.
So I'm just out the money?
You are.
Do you agree with our picks? Check out this other recent clip from Ms. Mojo. And be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.